chose to fight. You know, 10-time world champion at 6 different weight classes. He proved himself, but he couldn't beat the best, Pretty Boy Floyd, tonight.
So why was it a split decision? Do you think it was
Well, you gotta realize it was Golden Boy Promotions. You know how it is when we fighting against Golden Boy Promotions. Anything can happen. But you know, only the strong survive, and we did it tonight, man.
What did you do specifically to avoid getting hit by his left hook?
Oh, well, I seen the shots coming. You know, he only a punch when we lock up to make it look like he was doing something. But like I said, I stayed on the outside all night, boxed and made him miss shots. That's what you call a masterpiece, a boxing. And he's, you know, he one of the best fighters in our era, and I showed you what I could do to one of the best fighters in our era.
You've been saying for months that this was going to be a massacre. Why wasn't it?
I mean, it was a hell of a fight. We gave the fans what they wanted. The world awaited to see the Golden Boy versus the Pretty Boy, and that's what we gave him tonight. I owe thanks to my father. No matter what nobody say, he's a hell of a trainer. He's a great guy. Roger Mayweather, Team Mayweather. We did it tonight, man. It's just blessings from God, and God don't make mistakes.
You've said that you would retire after this fight.
Yeah.
Is that still your position?
Oh, yeah, I'm still retiring after this fight. I proved myself in the sport. 6-time world champion, 5 different weight classes. They said I couldn't do it. I weighed 150 yesterday, came into the fight today weighing 148, but we marked 150. And you seen the welterweight beat the junior middleweight today.
There are so many good potential opponents out there for you in the welterweight division. Cotto, Mosley, Williams, Margarito, and others. Why would you hang them up now when you're in your prime and you've won the biggest fight of your life?
Because I have nothing else to prove. I made a ton of money in this sport. These years are valuable to my children. I'm moving on to bigger and better things. I'm happy no matter what nobody say. God don't make mistakes. That's why I'm 6-time world champion in 5 different weight classes. I'm truly, truly blessed. And I didn't do it all by myself. I know I had a great team. Al Hamer, Leonard Ellaby, my father, Roger. Right. I give everybody credit who deserves credit.
None of them landed the punches that you did, though, Floyd. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Jim?
It should be pointed out that you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody here at ringside who believes Floyd Mayweather when he says he's going to retire after this victory. You really believe there's any chance he's walking away at the pinnacle of the sport after a victory like this?
You know, I told him that at the Fighters meeting yesterday. No. I mean, he loves this limelight. He was born to be a fighter. He's just beginning. Now he's going to get the attention that he craves. I hope he cuts down on some of his cussing because he didn't have to do that. He is a role model, whether he wants to face it or not. And just going to be a good champion. He had a rough fight tonight. I was impressed the way he held up.
All right, guys like Cotto and Williams are unbeaten. Everybody's going to want to see those fights. And maybe people are going to want to see Oscar De La Hoya again after tonight's battle. Let's take a look at what his plans might be as we go back to the ring and Larry Merchant.
Thanks again, Jim. Oscar, you made a terrific fight. Did you think you won it?
I felt I won. I felt I landed the hard punches, the crisper punches. Every time I would hit him, it would hurt him. And I was pressing the fight. So, I mean, you got to beat the champion decisively. And I was just pressed. If I didn't press a fight, there would be no fight.
So you thought that it was style as well as substance that should have given you the fight. But going into the late rounds, did you think you had to stop him?
No, as a champion, I wanted to stop him. And, you know, you owe it to the fans, you owe it to the crowd, you owe it to yourself to just push yourself more. So that's why I just try to close the show, you know, to give everybody the money's worth.
Emmanuel Stewart and others were wondering why you abandoned your jab at times, which, when you throw it well, was your most effective punch.
Right. I for some reason, it wasn't the night of the jab. For some reason, I don't know. And every time I would throw it, it would snap his head back, and I would hurt him. I could see his nose bleeding just with the jab alone. But for some reason, it's just one of those nights.
Do you feel, even though you're disappointed that you didn't get the decision, that you gave a very good account of yourself, better than a lot of people might have thought?
Right, exactly. I mean, obviously, everybody counted me out against, I mean, hey, the pound-for-pound champion of the world. I'm 34. He's younger than me. He's fast. You know, I told everybody, don't be surprised if my speed is a little, you know, it's going to offset him too, and it did. I mean, I hurt him with a few punches that I know he felt.
Then look into the future for us. Do you feel you performed well enough that there really is no reason you should retire from the point of view of your ability to fight, whatever the other factors are in your decision?
Well, yes, I gotta go back to the drawing board, watch the fight, and see how my movements were, see how my timing was, to see how my body feels. Just analyze the whole situation, and then I'll decide. But I mean, obviously, this is the game I love. This is the fight game that brought me here.
So the two things you said here about how much you love boxing, and you're going to go look at the tape, even though you know in your heart you fought a good fight, suggests that it ain't over yet.
Well, I mean, my suggestion is that we'll have to wait and see. I said that before the fight, win or lose, I have to analyze the whole situation. Then I'll decide. I'm going to be very smart about this.
Thanks for a terrific fight, Oscar.
I love boxing.
Thank you. And now to Floyd Jr. Sr., who was in the middle of all of this with his heart and with his head. How did you see the fight, Floyd?
Well, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. If you want to call fight by scoring, point system, I mean, by who throwing the more punches, you would have to give it to Oscar. But if you just going on a guy hitting a guy with single shots, then you have to give it to my son. I mean, my son he had good defense. I'm not saying a lot. He caught a lot of punches with his shoulder and his arm, but
so
it's still about punches. It's about people, a guy throwing punches.
What you're saying here is that you felt that because Oscar was pressing the fight and throwing a lot of punches, and that Floyd Jr. was throwing single shots and just blocking punches, you could have seen Oscar getting the decision. Is that what you're saying?